Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Curry Kane and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial, and let's just get straight into what we have for today. So for today we have an elevator. Now, I've already done an elevator in the past, but that elevator actually damaged you when you're going up and down for whatever reason. I don't know, it just did. But now this elevator is actually simpler and it doesn't damage you and kill you. But before we get started, there are two things you must know. That this is very tall, it's 10 blocks tall, and then you have your floor block. So you'll need at least 10 blocks below. It is very chunky, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just know that it's a chunky build. It's not very like fitting to a scene with like a skyscraper or city building. You may not want to build it there, but if you just want something simple to just get you from point A to point B in like your survival world or a world with your friends, this is the really good option to go with. It's just very simple. Also, this is not my design. This was made by FedEx Gaming. I do suggest checking him out. I'm using his design, except for I made a couple more tweaks to make it more elevator friendly, I guess, with the recall system, and then just make it a little bit more flush on the sides. So before we get on to materials, let me show you guys how this works. So obviously you go in here, press the bottom button. As you can see, it'll start pushing me up to the top. You gotta wait to get up to the top. But as soon as we get up to the top, you can see how we'll just be able to walk straight off. Like so. Then we can also press the button to go down, obviously. So now you can see that's back at the bottom right now, and I'll show you how the recall system works. It's at the bottom. Oh no, I need to come back up. Simply just press the button again. Oops, I missed it. Press the button again. As you can see, it starts coming back up, and I'll show you the exact same thing for the bottom. As you see, it's at the top. I just go over here, I press the button, and it'll bring it back down, as you can see. Now, also keep in mind, like, I barely placed any blocks surrounding it, so you can have this completely surrounded, but just know that you probably need obsidian to, like, surround it so then it doesn't stick to stuff and you break it. So, yeah, just know that I'm just having this so open and stuff so then you guys can actually see it work. But just know that how you can cover this up. This is very easy to cover up. Just know you can. Anyways, on to materials. So, these are the confirmed materials of, like, 100% you will need this amount. But these are materials that there's no set amount just because it depends on how tall you make it. So you'll need 22 slime blocks, 22 honey blocks, 10 sticky pistons, your 2 buttons, 8 pistons, 19 observers, and then you'll need obsidian or like furnaces or something like that. So then these slime and honey don't stick to it and it can go up like when you're covering it right here. As you can see, I have a ton of obsidian. You'll need redstone. It really just depends for that because, you know, with the recall system, it depending on how tall you make it, can depend on how much you need. Same with the glass and repeaters, which is next. And then your blocks is kind of obvious, like same thing. Depending on how tall you make it, you're going to need more blocks to just cover it up and all that stuff. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to build up 11 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that's if you don't already have your base floor like me. But let's say that you already have the floor where you want it and you already have the level where you're going to want it at like this. You're going to do the exact opposite and instead dig down 11 blocks. So there should be a 10 block gap between our floor layer and then the ground. From here we're going to drop down and we're going to dig out a 2x2 and fill it in with obsidian. Now in one corner we're going to build up 5 slime blocks. And then do the same in the opposite corner. So diagonal from it, we're going to build up slime again in 5 blocks high. In the opposite corners, or the corners you didn't place, you're then going to fill them in with honey. So it should be looking like this. Now you're going to go up and out to the left, break that, and then go up 6 this time. So that's 4, 5, 6, and then honey right next to it, and then do the same on the other side. So we're going to go up and out, break that, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then do slime right next to it. Now you're going to want to place obsidian here and here, blocks on top, here and here, and then blocks right here and here. Now we're going to go down below and we're going to get this redstone done. So we're going to make like a little C shape right here around this obsidian. And then we're just going to place redstone like so. What we're going to do is we're just going to do the same thing on both sides. We're going to do 2 observers facing up, 2 observers facing up, 2 pistons facing up, 2 pistons facing up. Then we're going to get observer facing up with a block gap in between like so. You can see how there's a block gap. Do the same on the other side, so we're gonna get the block gap, have these facing up, get an angle, there we go. And then we're going to have sticky pistons facing up over here, that's not facing up, sticky pistons facing up like so. Then we're just gonna do the same thing, just facing down. and they're a lot closer. We're gonna have 4 observers facing down, 4 pistons facing down. We're gonna have a block of space. We're gonna get 4 observers facing down, and then 4 sticky pistons facing down. So it should be looking like this. It's like a giant missile. So now you're gonna find out where you want your next floor. So I'm just gonna build up however many. We'll do here. I'll stop it right there. So that block, that's where I'm gonna have my floor. So then I'm just gonna quickly build out a floor. So right here will be my elevator floor, and then the little walls off the side will be right here. So it'll be like this. My elevator will be like this. So what we're gonna do is we're then gonna go 2 blocks up on the side, 2 blocks up on the side like this, and then make a little roof. Then we're gonna place obsidian on top of it like so, and then we can break what we were using temporary, like our elevator. Yes. So now we're gonna go down to where this redstone is at the bottom. We're gonna get our button, place it, then we're gonna test it out. As you see, it should start working if you did it correctly. If it didn't start working and it didn't work, quickly rewatch the part where we just started building, and then if you didn't get it again, just leave a comment. I'm always more than happy to help you guys. As you can see, it's taking a while since I did do a little bit taller, and that should not be connected, but you know that can easily be fixed. We just gotta get rid of them. But you see, it should have gotten all the way up like so. Now we need to get the down sequence. So you can have your button anywhere, but I'm just gonna simply have my button on the back side right here. Right here. Yes, I'm gonna have my button right there. You can have it anywhere else though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place a piston like so, facing out towards either side really. I'm gonna have an observer facing down. I'm gonna go 2 blocks down from the observer, break this middle one, and then go out 1. Redstone dust right there. So what we want is we want repeaters going into blocks which are right next to these pistons right here on both sides. We're gonna place blocks here and blocks on the other side, and then go underneath and out like so. So then we can get repeaters. Let me get them out real quick. Repeaters going into these blocks which are right next to this these pistons. And see, I just did the same on the other side. On the back side of these repeaters, what we're gonna have are just blocks like so, and we're just gonna connect it up to this redstone. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're just gonna connect this side up. So what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna have to go down and then out, so then it also doesn't get in the way of this, first of all. And then second of all, the reason why we have the blocks here is so it's also more flush, and it's like you won't be seeing it when you're going down the elevator. Now just go around the slime and the honey like so. We're gonna dip it down, then they can actually connect up to these repeaters since it's gonna be necessary, because it won't be able to power the block to power the repeaters. But now we should have it like so, and it should be able to power. If we press that, it should power the entire thing. Perfect. It worked again. And as I just said before, if something malfunctions, go back, rewatch it, rebuild it, and if you still can't get it to work, leave a comment. I'm more than happy to help. And so earlier I had this as normal blocks, but we need that to be obsidian. Now we need our other button to send it up. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna go out, and once again I'm gonna have it in the same spot, except for the button will actually break if like it's obviously in the way of this, because the block will come up and push it out of the way. We have to indent a block to put the button there. But once again, you can have your button pretty much anywhere if you want. So I have my button right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have a piston like so, facing out with an observer like this, facing out towards the back. So this will be used for the recall system, but first we're just gonna get the normal up and down. So on the back side of this piston, we're gonna place a piece of glass. Then we're just gonna do a tiny chain going down like so. Then we're gonna go redstone dust. So that's 1, 2. We need to break this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once you get, so there's 3 blocks of space, what you're gonna do is you're gonna break the block that's on the 4th block. You're gonna get a block to the side. Then when you break it, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get an observer facing down like so, and then replace that redstone dust on top. Now you're gonna go 2 blocks down, break the middle one or the first one that you placed, and replace that with the redstone dust like so. Now you're just gonna get it down like this and connect it up to these pistons right here on both sides. Now if you go back up, you press this button, it should have that start to go off and send it back up to the top. Perfect. I'm just gonna keep saying this. Once again, just go back, rewatch if you're having any problems. If you keep having the problems, leave a comment. Me or anybody else will be more than happy to help. So we're on the back of the top with this piston. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out of the piston 2 blocks like this. So we have redstone dust, then a repeater, and we're gonna have that going into a block like so. and then underneath the block, we're going to place a glass. And we're just going to do another glass tower going down. You're just going to simply keep doing this. Keep in mind, we can only go down 15. So this is where it gets hard for people who have like enormously tall like elevator shafts, because you can only go down 15, or like from a repeater, redstone poles can only go down 15. So each time you're placing your redstone, you need to count 15, and then on the 15th or before that, you need to add another repeater and restart your counting. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is my 15th. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out a block like this, repeater, have that going into a block, and actually wait, the repeater has to be on a glass block. I made that mistake right there. So going out, repeater going into a solid block, then go down a glass block, and then just continue your chain. So this would be 1, and then you just continue it down until you can make it to this redstone line right there. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we got 12, 13, and then we'll get 14. Then we have our 15 right here. Have the repeater, we're gonna have it going into a block, and then just connect it up to this right here, and this should actually work. So it's fully at the bottom right now. Let's test this out. So we're gonna push our button, and it should get recalled back up. Alright, it did not work, so something went wrong. So let's check this. Alright guys, I found my mistake. We don't want our piston. Alright, so we don't want our piston on the same block, or out the same block where our button is. We want our piston 1 block below that, if that makes sense. As you see, our piston, we want it 1 block below. So we have our button here. We want our piston 1 block low. I'm sorry I made that mistake. So we're then gonna have our observer, as we had before, facing down like so. Have redstone dust right there, and that should be all set and ready to go. And then just put redstone dust over this piston, and we should be ready to go. So now let's try this. So now we press the button, and as you saw, it reaches all the way down and it's coming back up towards us, which is amazing. Alright guys, so now we're on to the recall system for the top. So if you're on the bottom, you can call it from the top. And on this one, I did 2 redstone tower chains out of glass. And I realized just now that there's actually a better way of doing that with torch towers. So I didn't add this in the materials just because I just realized this now. But get yourself some redstone torches. Place a block underneath the observer, out 1, and then up 1, like this. Oops. It gets pushed, it'll be in this spot. Have it being facing into a block right here. So basically it goes pushed here, and it's facing into this block. We'll have a torch on top, then a block, torch, and a block, and then just do this all the way up. So now we're at the top, and make sure your last torch is off. So if it's not off and it's on, just add another torch on top, and then just connect it up that way. But now we have our last torch is off, so we're just gonna put redstone like this, connect it up, and we should be all set and ready to go. So if we go back down, we should be able to push this button, activate should flicker it, and it should be coming back down like so. All good, all set. As I've already said multiple other times, if you're having any problems and you need help, rewatch the video first, and then if you still can't figure out what's wrong, just leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to help. Now for the very last thing is surrounding an obsidian. Basically any single spot that is slime or honey that it reaches at some point during this, you're going to want to cover up an obsidian. And then just make sure you don't cut off anything, or else it'll break and all that stuff. You'll have to rebuild it, which is super annoying. So be very, very careful when you're building off of it. But it's really not that difficult or that hard, and you shouldn't be stressing about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's tutorial. If you did, make sure to smash like, subscribe, new, as always, post noise, and that's pretty much all I gotta say. See you next one. Goodbye.